And what are your main views on global warming? What is your main purpose when trying to help the Earth?
We've got to stop it. No, my main view on global warming is that, again, this is a reality, and to address it, I just think that we have to do it from the point of view of reality. And one of the things that I think is starting to shift in the environmental movement is the understanding that if you want to get people active and involved, you have to find a way to inspire them. You have to find a way to educate them and inspire them. And you can do that because there's really great stuff happening now, and there's opportunities for all of us, to make a difference. Whatever level you're at, whether you're in school or you're in college or, graduating, going into the workforce, there's opportunities to do that. And I think when we start to have a dialogue about the environment, it says we can really create change. We can really do this. And as we create change, yeah, we're going to do it so that we get to stay here for a while. We don't want to die, right? We don't want to become extinct as a species. But that's not really inspiring, is it, right? So we don't die. What's inspiring is to say we have a real opportunity to rethink how we do everything, and all of us can think about how we're going to create a better world, a world filled with opportunity. And that is something that I feel like green enables, and that's something where when you start to talk about that, then people will be like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I want to make the world better for me, for my children, for my grandchildren, whatever. And that, to me, is how I think about global warming. I think about it from looking at people and saying, I've got some stuff to tell you about the environment that I think you're really going to like, because it's going to improve your life. It's going to improve the planet, and you're really going to enjoy doing it.
Another question about global warming. If this keeps going on and everything that we know is gone down the drain, and sorry, didn't mean to say that, and we have all these,
just pick it up again. Right.
and we have all these problems, like there's no Manhattan, there's no New York, and there are places all around the world that it's just getting worse and worse. What do you think about that?
I think that may be part, to some degree, of what we start to see happening. The one thing that I feel is that we know this, we know the solutions, and there's more solutions coming, and they're exciting solutions. What we don't have is unlimited time. So the impetus is to really try and think about, how do we get people to act now? How do we get the people to change now? It may happen that as we have to acclimate to climate change, some of the places we live, yeah, they might disappear, right? Sea levels may rise, and that might happen. But I don't think that can stop us from really saying, we have a lot of work to do, and we have to make sure that for the billions of us on this planet that are going to be here for a long time, that there's a better life for us ahead. So I don't think that you can look at the problems, but you have to look them square in the face and say, this is what we're dealing with. But at the same time, I think you have to try to hold on to that optimism that says we can still make things better, and we really have to try.
And what do you think about alternative gases? Like, do you think, like for cars, do you think people would catch on to that, or try and still use gas every time they can?
So if you're talking about like ethanol or biodiesel or things like that, I think that they're interesting, and I think they're probably going to be, as a lot of people are saying, they're going to be part of the solution. And you'll talk to a lot of environmentalists or green business people, and they'll say, yeah, all of these things are part of the solution. Maybe that's true. When you look at like biofuels and ethanol, there's a reason why the automobile companies will say this is really what we should be thinking about, and that's because it's very cheap for them to create cars that can run on biofuels, right, or run on regular gasoline and alternative fuels, and that's a good thing. But it really seems to me, if you want to really think very logically about what makes sense to do, electric cars actually seem like the way that this is probably going to go. And the reason why is that, as certainly some other people have said, I'm not the first to say it, but it's a whole lot easier to try and clean up, say, a few hundred power plants, right, that are coal-powered plants. We're trying to find ways to deal with that, than it is to say, we're going to try and clean up 200 million vehicles. We're going to try and clean up 200 million little engines. Why don't we just go clean up, the power plants, get us on electric, and let us plug into the grid and run our cars? It just seems to me like there's a lot of talk that's kind of PC. There's going to be lots of solutions. Who knows? It's this one big family of solutions. But some things seem a little bit more obvious to me, and I think that those are going to emerge as the winners.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, and it was definitely a pleasure getting to interview you.
Great talking to you guys. Thank you.